All right, hello everybody. Hopefully everyone can hear me properly. I'm in headphones this time, which I don't usually use, so I'll test run this video after and hopefully all goes well. I hope everyone's doing great on this new moon in Libra, this social, clarifying new moon. I know that often I say that it's really intense and a lot of stuff is going on, but this new moon in particular is really clarifying. It's really pulling away all that sort of debris, kind of like when the tide comes in and it takes all that seaweed and it brings it back into the ocean. It's really clearing the scene for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you feel some of that, and hopefully you can stay relatively grounded with yourself and what you need in order to make the most of this kind of clarifying opportunity. For those of you who don't know me, or this is your first time tuning in with me, my name's Kate. I'm the owner, or I am, Indigo Instinct Healing. I'm an intuitive channeler and mentor, as well as working as a healer and a spiritual guide. So I do lots of different things. I do house clearings and energy clearings and channeled readings for people. So if you'd like to get in touch with me about my personal offerings, just send me a DM or comment below in the video. And as always, I'm speaking to one color of the collective rainbow. So if this is resonating for you, then this reading is divinely meant for you. I'm going to pull our primary energy card. I'm not doing the dual video today with one screen and one screen because I wanted to keep things simple and keep things clear. So we'll pull our primary energy and our shadow energy. Cool. And then I will put our pathway. I've put our block on our path, so the energies that are keeping you stuck in one place and the path, the way through to clear that block, I've put those aside for now. I'm going to pull them in a second. Our primary energy for the new moon in Libra is our gorgeous High Priestess card. So primarily what's coming through at the moment is this resurgence and this upsurgence of this divine feminine energy. We know this has been a steady wave that's been building for the past few years, and we've recently gotten a bit more conscious about what that means, including all women, all people who identify as women, all women that come from every single walk of life. We've opened that awareness now, but this also means the feminine energy that lies within you. So even if you feel like you're the most masculine of men or the most masculine of women, the yin energy that exists within has to do with nurturing yourself, self-compassion, receptivity, being okay to accept the help that's being offered, to accept the support that's being offered. And it also has to do with this kind of more fluid way of getting what you want. So instead of going out there, with your shovel and you're going to dig your way to success, feminine energy and yin energy is a lot more about collaboration and balance and communication and getting things to work in a way that's more cohesive and collaborative as a group than it is by forging ahead. So if you're someone who isn't particularly connected with their feminine, just go to a place that might be quiet or personal or private and ask yourself what that means to be connected to the divine feminine within yourself. Whether you can resonate with it or not, every single person has a balance of both energies. Whether one represents more strongly than the other depends on the individual, but every single person carries both. And right now, there's this need for a little bit more self-care, a little bit more relaxing. I know that with the pandemic stuff and with the grids of the world kind of being all jumbly right now, there's a lot of energy of, okay, when is this just going to be over? When can everything just go back to the way it was? And if you haven't been able to accept that yet, we're not going back. There will be no going back in any sense of the word. But at the same time, we don't always have to push to force ourselves to get comfortable with the new normal just yet, or the new consistency just yet, because we haven't quite arrived there. So give yourself a little bit of breathing room for this new moon. Maybe that means, you know, calling in and saying that you're going to start working from home, or you're going to start work 2 hours later than you normally would. Or instead of being super consistent about going to get exercise or going to the gym, maybe you do some really gentle yoga or some really restorative breathing exercises, and you call that your practice for the day. So get in touch with your yin energy and your feminine energy, and don't forget about that sacred goddess that lives within you as well, because there's a lot of power as well that comes within the feminine. And then our shadow energy, lots of female power this new moon. So our shadow energy is an angelic messenger. She often comes as the feminine representation of Archangel Michael, which I can post a link to at the bottom if you're watching this on YouTube, to who Archangel Michael is and how you can connect with them. But this shadow energy that's coming up in the form of this angelic messenger has to do with defensiveness. So what I'm seeing kind of in the sort of collective shield or the collective womb is there's this, I might not be doing great, but everyone else around me isn't doing great either, so I'm just gonna not say anything about it. Or it's selfish of me to express my needs right now because there's X and Y going on that's bigger than me. That's always going to be true. There's always going to be things that are bigger than you going on. But if you neglect your needs, then you're inherently neglecting the people that you connect with and the people that you care about as well. Because if you're pouring from an empty cup, then the people you care about aren't going to be able to get enough to drink anyway. So drop the defensiveness, and whether that means that you maybe need to have a little bit of a breakdown, or you need to either tell someone you trust or say it out loud or say it in your car that, you know, you're in a place where maybe you don't know what you want, or you're not okay right now, or there's a part of a relationship that's not working for you. Whatever it is that's kind of getting under your skin a little bit, you need to communicate about it, but before you do that, you need to get honest with yourself about what you truly need, what that soft part of you and maybe the inner child part of you really needs, before you can address it as a situation. The other message that I'm getting is I'm getting this vision of falling back into the arms of kind of the world and of Gaia. So if you're constantly looking behind your shoulder saying, I'm gonna go for this, but you secretly don't really think it's going to work, that makes it really hard for the universe to work with you. So again, this new moon doesn't have to be about immediately changing all of your beliefs and your thoughts, but just bring the awareness to, have you been trying really hard to get something to work, but there's a secret part of you that actually doesn't believe at all that it's going to work? Address those deeper issues within yourself. And once you can get clear on those and what those even are, then the path is going to clear way more quickly for you to be able to move forwards. So that's our shadow. And then our block on our path. So we've got our block here, and we've got our path underneath. So our block, this one doesn't really surprise me, especially with the way that the global current has been with the pandemic stuff. And, you know, I've got friends and family that are going back into lockdown and back into this kind of reduction of freedom and reduction of resources. So the global current is hitting this sort of I'm really over this. And that block is coming from a lack of inspiration. So, maybe you're looking to Instagram a lot, and the idea of getting up in the morning and doing home workouts and then spending your day at your home office and then taking a yoga break after lunch, maybe that's not actually working for you, and you're really starting to feel tired and dissatisfied with what the kind of Instagram or social media current is selling you, or is feeding you, and you're just not really digesting it. So dare to get a little bit weird with yourself and think about what actually makes you light up, like what actually turns on that personal fire. Because if it's making cat harnesses, or if it's finding, like I had a friend who uses like fur from roadkill as part of a sacred um, product that she makes, and it's very magical and it's very potent. If collecting things like that bring you light and bring you joy, then that's going to bring so much more healing to the world than you getting on the train and doing the home videos and doing the Instagram stuff that everyone else is saying is really working. So yeah, you might feel like you're really over it and you feel like you have a lack of passion right now and you're not really feeling inspired. But what actually makes you interested? Dare to unfollow 20 people on Instagram, or delete your YouTube account and start a new one, and see what comes up if you actually follow what turns your heart on. And then our path, the wise one. I'm just going to tune in here for a second. Hey, sorry about that. My screen hit maximum recording, so hopefully I'll put these two videos together and hopefully it makes sense. Anyway, what I was saying is, this is the card that we pulled for our pathway, our way through. And what I was saying before is that I don't usually get messages that are this specific, but this isn't going to apply to all of you, but for a lot of you, there's somebody out there that they either are a woman or they embody that sort of feminine energy for you that you need to reach out and speak to. So maybe it's a trusted friend that you really feel safe with, or maybe it's someone who served as a maternal type figure, or an aunt, or some feminine entity that you trust. Maybe it's a deity that you pray to as well. But there's this need to go outside of yourself with what you're experiencing for this new moon and put it out to some sort of maternal figure that supports you, so that you can communicate out of you, so it's not always in your head and it's not always being stored in your body. And for some of you, that also might mean that you're listening to a female musician that you really resonate with, or you're drawing art that has to do with the feminine. It could be interpreted in a few different ways, but there's definitely this very strong message coming through that you need to take what is true to you and what's sitting on your heart and put it out to somebody who's more of an elder, either within your life or within your spiritual practice, so that you can kind of give up what's on your heart to them and they can help you move forwards. So that is all I have for you today. Again, if you want to book a personal reading, a personal session with me, or talk about some of the offerings that I do, Indigo Instinct Healing here on YouTube, Indigo Instinct Healing on Facebook and on Instagram. I know I'm going to cross-post these videos, but I most presently post the main videos to YouTube, so that's why I'm talking to the YouTubers. And I hope you have a blessed new moon, and the next time I'll see you is on the 31st for our full moon. Until next time.